All right. Welcome, guys, to the Habit-Based Lifestyle Podcast. I'm your host, Jesse Ewell, and today we're going to be talking about the 5 hacks to improve your consistency. So
you are tuning in to the Habit-Based Lifestyle Podcast with your host, Jesse Ewell. This is the Habit-Based Lifestyle. Let's go.
One of the things that I often get asked is, how do I be more consistent? How do I improve, what I'm doing? And one of the biggest things that I see is everybody talks about being consistent, but nobody actually knows how to do it or teach how you can be more consistent. So I want to go through these today so that you can get a better understanding of what exactly this looks like. So I'm going to draw this out. As I'm doing that, I want you to begin to simply apply this, to you, your business, and just how you, maybe showing up. So as we get into this, I'm going to draw this out. So if you guys are tuning in live, this gives you the ability to watch kind of what I'm doing. If you're listening to the podcast or maybe watching later on, let me know. So if you're watching this live, hashtag live, you're watching the replay, hashtag replay. If you are watching this on YouTube, click subscribe. Also notifications so that you can get notifications when, we put out new content every week. So you want to make sure that you do that. All right. So let me share my screen, and I'm going to be drawing this out. So number one is we're going to talk about hacks, your 5 hacks for consistency. And I want to preface this a little bit. So number one, the thing that we have to understand with consistency is that consistency doesn't care about your time, doesn't care about duration. So what does that mean? That means that there's nothing in consistency that says you have to do it this amount of time. And if you look up the definition, it means the repeating of doing something over and over. And so sometimes you may not have the full time. And so I look at habits in 2 ways. So habits that grow or habits that multiply. Now, if I look at them in either growing or multiplying, what that means is this: that your habits are going to grow, they're going to multiply. So growing means they're going to grow in time. Multiplying means that we've pretty much set the time and we're just going to consistently do it. And then we get the multiplication effect of that. And so when it comes to consistency, hack number 1 is it doesn't matter about time and duration. Okay, so doing 20 minutes of working out, doing 5 minutes of working out, it doesn't matter. You worked out. And so there's no such thing as like, hey, I didn't work. It doesn't count as a workout because I only did it for this amount of time. It doesn't matter. It just matters that you showed up and did it. And so consistency doesn't care about time or duration. And we get caught up a lot of times in that. And I want to just say this one thing. I've done a podcast on this before, but I want to say this one thing, that if you are too caught up in time and duration and saying like, look, if I didn't work out for 45 minutes, it doesn't count, but yet you worked out for 30, you're simply going to fail yourself. Not every day I wake up, and have 45 minutes to work out or an hour to work out. Most days I do, but not every day I do. And so my goal is to make sure at least I do whatever I can in the amount of time I have. In a perfect world, 45 minutes to an hour would be ideal. But we don't live in a perfect world. If you got a business, you have kids, you have all these things going on, it really, very rarely will you have kind of that perfect routine. Now, our goal would obviously be able to do that. But, in this, you want to just focus on, hey, did I consistently do the work, or not? So number 2 is consistency is a yes or no. It's not a maybe. Okay. What that means is like, hey, did I show up and do the work? Yes. Or did I show up and do the work? No. Whatever that is, this gives us the ability to just say, yeah, I did show up today. It's like, well, I didn't do the full 30. I did 20, but did you show up? Yeah, I showed up. Or no, I did not show up. And so consistency, we're not going to waver in consistency. Did I show up and do the work? Yes. Or did I show up and do the work? No. Whatever that is for you, we want to make sure that you're a yes or no. There is no maybe. Okay. There's no maybe in anything that we're going to do. And so, yes, I did the work, or no, I did not do the work. And that's where we need to operate from, because the maybe or the middle is maybe the place that we stay the most comfortable. And it's the place that we stay trapped in a lie. And maybe is a lie. Okay. So number 3 is going to be environment is key. Now, understanding this, everything that triggers our behavior, everything that will trigger our habits is going to be our environment. And so our environment is one of the most important things when it comes to us being consistent. The better our environment's set up, the better that we're going to succeed. So think of it this way. If you go to a bar, the environment's set up to where it's going to get you to drink. Okay. And that's the goal of that. No different than if you go to the grocery store, you have certain foods on end caps, things like that. The way their store's set up, the environment is set up for you to buy specific things. When they have specials, stuff on sale, they place them strategically on end caps so that the environment is conducive for you to be able to buy that. Well, guess what? Our environment is one of the key things when it comes to us being successful. So in my office, I've got a 1,200 square foot gym in the back. We have a training area. I have this podcast studio. Well, guess what? The environment is set up for me to work out. The environment's set up for me to study. The environment's set up for me to do a podcast. And so what this allows me to do is be successful in the environment because it's set up for me to succeed. And it really gets me into a place where it's like, hey, I'm not just going to come in, stare at the gym. I come in, I see it. Chances are I'm going to do it. No different than if you go to a bigger gym, you have a membership. Most people don't sit outside and stare at the gym. Once they walk in, the environment is set up for them to work out. And so your environment is going to trigger your behavior. So let's say I want to, lose weight and maybe cut out sugar. Well, my environment is going to be key. I need to get rid of my candy drawer, replace it with maybe a protein drawer, protein bars. I need to begin to remove stuff in my environment that will trigger my behavior so that I can be successful. And so your environment will trigger behaviors and trigger your habits and either make you successful or they'll work against you. And so this is a key thing to this, and most people will not look at it. Number 4 is going to be have a plan or a system. Now, think about it this way. If I wanted to lose weight, I would need to begin to write out everything that goes into it. Exercise, nutrition, mindset, everything that's going to go into that. And I would need to have a specific system that I could rely on that would help make me successful in that place. Now, this would become either a plan or a system that I can show up and do every day. Well, guess what? When it comes to consistency, people expect to be consistent, but they don't have a plan or they don't have a system that they can actually follow. No different than if I want to make more money, I need to understand my marketing and I need to understand my sales. And inside of marketing, it could be reaching out to people, getting into conversations, getting on sales calls. Like if you don't have a system on how to do that, how can you be successful at growing your business? And this is one of the common places that I see people are relying on things like referrals. They're relying on, outside sources that they don't really have control over. So yes, you might be getting referrals, but there's not a system on how to acquire new clients. And that is not a system on how to do it. It's a great thing. But again, if you want to make more money, if you want to lose more weight, you got to have a system if you want to be consistent with being successful. The last piece is going to be routine is greater than results. Now, what does this mean? That means that most people are checking out people on social media who have results. Like maybe they have a nice car, maybe they have a house, maybe they have these things that people want, but we're comparing results with our results versus comparing, hey, what's this guy's routine that actually got him those results? And so I believe that comparison is actually really important, but we're just comparing the wrong things. We're comparing results, but we're not comparing routines. What I want to know is like, what did this guy do or what did this person do every day to be able to buy that house, to be able to buy that car? Because that tells me some of the things that I need to change in myself. When we just look at results, I'm not changing anything. And so we want to make sure that if we're going to compare, we want to compare our routine to that other person's routine, because the routine is what I consistently do over a period of time that gets me the results. My results don't get me results. And so the next time, you see your favorite influencer buy a new car, the next time you see them get something that you would like, stop looking at, the end result and start looking at, well, what is this guy doing every day that I'm not doing? What are the things that took place for him to make that happen? That's what begins to tell us the truth. And that's what really consistency comes down to, is like, hey, what are the consistent things they're doing in their routine, whether it be in the morning, whether it be for work, or whether it be in the evening? That tells me a lot more than anything else. So here's the one question. If you guys are watching this, what hack do you feel like is the thing that you are maybe not doing? Maybe it's not having a plan. Maybe it's your environment. Maybe you're negotiating with yourself, and maybe your consistency is a maybe, or maybe you're too focused on the time and duration, or you're too focused on the results and you're not actually focused on the routine. So write this out, comment. Hey, what's one thing that you can change inside of your consistency that would help you improve and get the results you're looking for? So guys, a couple ways that you can find out more about us. You can also, check out Instagram, Jesse, JESSE.EWELL. Send me a message. If you're on YouTube, let me know let me know a training you'd love to see. If you're in our Facebook group, obviously you're probably watching this training live. But we'd love to get in contact with you. So please, guys, reach out if you need help with anything. If you need help with growing your business, growing in your lifestyle, I would love to be able to help you because this is what this is all about. That's what habit-based lifestyle is all about, how to get you to live better life and business habits to take your life and business to the next level. Hope you guys have an amazing week, and we'll talk soon.
You are tuning in to the Habit-Based Lifestyle Podcast with your host, Jesse Ewell. This is the Habit-Based Lifestyle. Let's go.